Oh man, just look how good this looks. How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring along with me to upgrade my graphics card on my custom PC for my editing. So let's jump right into it. So I recently acquired a 3090 Ti graphics card for my custom PC because it is time to upgrade my 3070, especially because this was on a massive sale that I just couldn't pass up to upgrade for a long-term kind of, I guess, update for my PC for when it comes down to my video editing needs and also photography editing. Now, the 3070 is pretty great still and it works perfectly, but it was time to upgrade, especially because the sale was just too good to pass up. It had it at 2,000, dropped it down to 1,100, which is almost a 50%, decrease of the price point. So it just made sense to do it. Now, here is the bad boy, right there. This one right here, it should be a pretty cool upgrade to have on my custom PC, as well as adding more RAM to it. So that way, whenever I'm editing, everything can work as smoothly as possible whenever I'm just trying to make sure that nothing lags or anything like that. If you're not too much into PC buildings, maybe this video might be a little bit boring for you, but I do appreciate you watching thus far into this video. And we're gonna go ahead and start, making sure everything runs smoothly into my computer and putting this into there. And then just, see how much better it is. Nothing too technical though. I'm not really like that tech savvy to be like, oh, the clock, whatever, of this one was a lot faster than the 3070 by this much. None of that. But I think it'd be kind of cool to bring you guys a little bit behind the scenes of what I put in my computer for editing purposes. And then I'll kind of edit a little bit of some footage just to see how well it just goes with it and see how much I like it. Plus, if you're wondering what you need when it comes down to having a custom PC built for yourself so that you can get, the best maximum outcome for the price point, hopefully this will help you out to know if it's worth it or not for you. But other than that, here is some tasty B-roll that I was able to take of it because I just had to, since it looks so beautiful. And hopefully you enjoy it before we continue on. So that tasty B-roll was shot with this bad boy as usual. And I even used a little bit of my, my gimbal, since I don't get to use it as often. But another thing that I did for the up close and personal ones, I did use these extensions for macro photography and videography, and they work pretty wonderful. I mean, I think they do the job for what it is, so I don't have to spend money on a macro lens because I don't shoot macro that often, to be honest. But if you do product stuff, it could be cool to have those extension tubes for yourself. So just a little bit of a hint, because if you see it right there, cover my face so you can see it, but there it is. That's just usually how you start extending it, and you can make it add more or less and then see how it works. But I thought it turned out pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna take this upstairs and try to set it up into the computer itself. So we're gonna have to take it out of there in a bit to put it back in there. So now that I have everything, organized and set up here with my RTX 3090ti installed and everything, I kind of wanted to go ahead and just play through a video that I did with the post-trip depression, and then also export it to see the difference, if there is that much of a difference, just to kind of see how much better it is. I do have now 80 gigabytes of RAM as well installed into my computer, so that's pretty cool because I think about like 60 something is dedicated just for that. I try to put more, because I used to be able to, out of the 32, I used to be able to put about like, I think 26 maybe. But now that I have 80, it lets me do like 60 something, and it has like 12 remaining. So we're gonna go ahead and just test it out and see how it does, and then, kind of do some thought process about if it's worth it for you guys or not to upgrade. I know with this setup, it'll let me have it for long term, and eventually if you're trying to, have 8K footage eventually in the future. So I'm kind of like future proofing myself. So we're gonna check it out. I'm Kevin, and I have post-trip depression. You know, post-trip depression, I didn't think it was something to do. Honestly, just thought it was the readjustment of coming home. So far, so good. The only thing that I always notice, though, is that whenever there's like a lot of little bit of kind of files like shut up, like very short and everything like that, it always like struggles, which I think is more the Premiere Pro software. But we're gonna go ahead and export it and see how it goes. Now, one thing that I will let you guys know is the way that I export my footage is not with like a low, like it's a big file size. So just so you guys know, that's why it might take longer than some people might go like, oh, I can export my video in 3 minutes. I could too if my video was smaller file sizes, but I try to do a higher file size so that whenever I upload it, it'll be compressed and it'll still be fine. So my CBR is about 50 megabits per second. So that makes the file sizes become bigger. So usually a video like this long, that's like maybe 8 minutes long, might be at like 3.5 gigs instead of just something smaller when you just use the presets, just so you know. And it's done exporting now. So we're gonna check the log real quick just to see how long it took exactly and kind of compare it to the other one. So the encoding time was 7 minutes with 7 seconds completely. Yeah, so pretty fast, I think. I think it's a fast number. I know with my 3070, it was the same file. It's about 7 minutes and 48 seconds. So I mean like 40-ish seconds faster. I'm still gonna be working on making sure that it's just optimized the best that it can be so that it works best with Premiere Pro. But I think what's gonna be great with this one as well, obviously playing some video games, but the good thing about it is just gonna be making the workflow a little bit smoother when I'm editing anything on Premiere Pro, Lightroom, and everything like that for long term. So whenever I have to use my Sony a7S 7 by the time that comes around, but it has like 8K files or something, or shooting raw files, it should make everything a lot smoother. But I think it should be pretty cool, you know, to have that. But overall, this is not like anything crazy of a spec out video with all the clockworks that people can add for like how fast and benchmarks and all that stuff. But for me, it was just wanted to upgrade my computer and show you guys what I've been going to be using for editing now, since I know sometimes I get asked like, what do I use to edit? How do I edit and everything like that? Well, I have the 3090ti now, and I also have 80 gigabytes of RAM now, since I added 64 new ones, and then I added 2 other ones of the ones that I like of my old ones, just to kind of add it together, and it's been working fine. Now I'll be able to just kind of smoothly add more layers to everything, I think. So I'll keep working it over time to optimize it better, to see if I find anything new that makes it faster, export settings and everything like that. But for now, I think it's very good and beneficial, because my goal is to try to be able to have the easiest, like best ease of use when it comes down to editing, as well from exporting, so that it's the fastest that I can have it, so that I'm not wasting as much time. That's my ultimate goal when it comes down to speccing out computers and getting laptops and everything like that. And I do eventually plan to do a video on my laptop that I've had for like about 4 years now, that still does a wonderful job. And I kept thinking about upgrading, and sometimes we get caught up with like the newest and everything, like even the iPhone stuff. Like I still have a 12 Max Pro, don't really care for the 14 Pro. The only way that I would like upgrade is if I get too good of a deal to upgrade with the trade-ins and stuff from T-Mobile. But other than that, I could care less, because I don't use my phone that often. So that's pretty much it. But really happy with this purchase. Glad that I was able to get it on sale and being able to now use it for long term. So happy with that. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.